So welcome back here. It's about to go down as we were watching the little patty cake that these guys are playing right now. It's going to be a little bit more brutal when we get to it here up in that center 50. And so welcome back here on GoSports.com. We have 2 sets remaining here and some good ones as we're going to find out who is going to be moving on to Sunday. Dynasty just took a loss to the Outlaws in overtime, but right now it's San Antonio Xfactor who won their first game against Chicago Aftershock. They're taking on Houston Heat. And Xfactor with John Woodley going to be battling with Chad Boucher up in that center, as there's been a little bit of smack talk here before. You know, 2 former teammates. Definitely see who's going to be getting the better of who up in that center, and then overall as the team. Houston Heat looking good, Xfactor looking good. So, you know, this is one of those games that's a potential finals match here in the prelims. And Chicago Aftershock also taking on the scrappy Uprising. So this game brought to you by Contact Zero from Empire. About to get things rolling here.
Xfactor. Are they going to send both these bodies up to the center on the break? Are we going to get our first collision of the day?
Well,
nope.
well, here's another thing: is
Chad's not in.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Well, Chad's been getting some spins, but Chad's not one of the starting 5. As we see, he's not on the field right now, and then Woodley did get shot off the break. So nice job of containment of the aggression of Woodley. He didn't really get that far up the field. So it is now 5-on-4 in favor of Houston Heat. And there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of Xfactor every time they play Houston Heat, just for the fact that we're talking about a superstar assembled squad of Houston Heat, and we would say, oh, it's the battle of the 2 Texas teams, and then the Xfactor guys would roll their eyes and be like, show me one Texan on Houston Heat. And I'd be like, Ryan Smith? And they're like, okay, part-time Texan, but he does live in Texas. But, again, just out of pride, San Antonio Xfactor wants to win this one here, and for obviously standing in the tournament. But so lots of different storylines here in this particular matchup. Looks like Chad George getting out wide for Houston Heat, snake side. Archie moving up for San Antonio Xfactor on the D side. Colt Roberts already with some penetration at the mini wall. D side, Billy Bernaccia gets across the lane to the stand up on the snake side, and Sergey mirrors that move. And there is that D side of the field. There's Colt Roberts and Archie Montemayor.
Big Sergey standing in that snake side tower. He's got Chad George with him, but Kovar and Bernaccia are gunning up, heads up, able to make moves over here on the snake side, as Xfactor also pumping down that Dorito side right now, getting into the Dorito 3. Referee gonna run in and check him. He's gonna pull him. That is Colt Roberts, and he's also gonna throw a minor, get Archie pulled. So big advantage right now as Billy Bernaccia gets shot in the goggles from across the field. So Houston Heat gonna go up 1 in the first point of the match with the help of a penalty.
Yeah, Ryan Brand always quick on that buzzer. As soon as he feels that his team is at a massive disadvantage, he immediately hits that buzzer. Quickest guy in the league on that. Good first point for Houston Heat. Nice job, Sam Monville, Chad George, Sergey Sonaiskov, and Konstantin Fedorov. I feel like Konstantin Fedorov's having a pretty good tournament, Todd.
Yeah, Konstantin's balling right now.
How's he doing for breakout spa for you guys over in Europe?
Oh, man, it was so fun to go over there with Fedorov for the first time and have him on our team. We lost Archie to the Tauntauns in the off-season, so...
Is there any bad blood between Breakout and Archie?
Nah.
No, it's all good.
It's all gravy. Breakout doesn't really have bad blood.
Strictly business.
Pretty chill. So
there are the fan predictions. Look like Houston Heat edging out San Antonio Xfactor on the fan predictions, and Shock edging out Uprising, and that's the game going on right now. Uprising in the white, Shock in the murdered out black uniforms.
And looks like Creek is going to get some more spins. Got in at the end of the last match. He's back in there again now. They shoot Kerr and Carl Markowski off the field. And another body over there. So 2. Pez gets shot. Just 1 body left alive now for Shock.
Graham Arnold gets in the snake for Uprising. Nobody's shooting at him, and that's going to do it, as looks like Sloviak gets pinched out. Last player left alive. Having a couple choice words for... Who's the guy with the blonde hair on Aftershock? New kid?
Isn't that Pez?
Pez, I think that is Pez. Pez has been struggling here at this event.
Pez.
30 seconds.
So now Clint Johnson, Woodley, Michael, Bernaccia, and Montemayor coming out to play this next point for San Antonio Xfactor. On the flip side, it's San Monville, Sergey Slonisko, Ryan Moorhead has been playing awesome on that D side, and Chad George. I feel like Chad's playing every point for them.
Huh?
I think Chad George is playing every point for Houston Heat. Have you seen him sit much? I haven't seen him sit much.
No, I haven't. He's been doing a good job. It's a tough spot to play. But, you know, he's out there getting the job done.
Heavy guns up right now for Houston Heat.
Xfactor tries to run wide. Gets clipped by Monville and Chad George. Shooting heads up. Here comes Sergey through the middle of the field.
Sergey up to that center 50, looking D side, trying to get a shot through the window. Back bunker on the D side. And now he's gonna flip his gun around, switch hands, and do the same thing on the snake side. And he switches off just as Billy Bernaccia goes through the lane, but somebody else picks him up, and I think that was Sam Monville or Chad George. And then Woodley runs through and stays alive. No one is shot at John Woodley. John Woodley still alive on Heat side of the field. And then he's gonna switch over to the pin. I don't like that. He's gonna get diced up from there. He probably should have just continued to gun up and live by his gun. But he did his job, took Sergey out of there. But another body comes off. Archie takes the early walk. Chad George gets into the snake for Heat, and that's gonna be another concession here as Clint Johnson was the last player left alive for Xfactor, so that's 2 quick points for Houston Heat.
Yeah, good job right there by Houston Heat to execute. Chad George dove in low to that snake laydown and shot the guy running to the corner, tag teaming him with Monville from the back center. Here comes Woodley's move through the middle. He's gonna get Sergey and make it into that spot alive, give Sergey a couple extra, and let him know ain't nobody scared.
And he gets a little squirrely here. He's in there alive, and I think he just got pressure. He jumps over the top and then decides, well, I'm gonna go to this smaller bunker over here.
Yeah.
And then gets pinched out.
I think he probably had the load. Like he reached to load, so he probably couldn't actually shoot Moorhead because he was staring at Moorhead's back.
Yeah.
He would have taken one step and blown him away.
That's a good point. I was wondering, hey, man, either just come out and try to avoid the penalty, but get that other shot, take 2 with you. But, I mean, still, it's a great run-through by Woodley. It's beautiful, beautiful work.
Absolutely.
Not taking anything away from him at all. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. Might have shot his last ball shooting Sergey.
So now on the breakout here for Shock, down by 1 against Uprising, and they lose Karl Markowski again early off the break. So 2 points in a row, Karl dying, and we're gonna see a penalty here for Shock. Minor penalty, ref was screaming at Kerr, and Kerr is still blazing his gun away, so that draws a penalty. Pez dies too, and poor Nick Sloviak is still in that same small bunker over there, looking at a bunch of Uprising players run at him, but Uprising loses 2. And Nick Sloviak is still alive, but it looks like they're not going to give him a chance to try to pull off that 1-on-3, and that's probably pretty smart, actually. Survivability still a huge issue for Shock. In that last game, they were able to get Karl real consistent over here on the snake side, and they were able to get Rodarte, who was the kill count leader. And I actually just, Sloviak, I talked to Nick yesterday about the frustrations here with, again, it's tough for Shock. They have it's a hard road for them. There's no other, that's just the truth. The unfortunate truth for them is that they're coming out here into the best league in the world, the hardest the teams to play, the best players, with 2 veterans, in Karl Markowski and Sloviak. They have Brian McKenna, the Canadian, who's played on some teams, some pro teams, and then a bunch of divisional players who have to learn real fast how quick the timing and the difference is out here. And that's their test right now. And so the young guys are gonna need to listen to Karl, they need to listen to Bruno, and they need to listen to Nick.
Well, that's the key, right, Matty? You gotta be smart, you gotta listen to the guys that have been there and done that, or telling you why you made the mistakes that you made. And then you have to be smart enough to understand, consider, and remember not to do it again.
Well, and your response to that challenge should not be, yeah, I know already. No, you don't.
I know, Matty, I know.
No, you don't know, because if you did know, you wouldn't be dying constantly. So just, you know, close your mouth and open your ears and learn as quick as you can, or it's gonna be beat down after beat down after beat down. That's just the reality of the situation out here. So now into this game with Heat and Xfactor. Heat up by 2, but a good break for Xfactor, 5 alive for them. taking less ground this time, and then now secondarying into their spots on that D side. But two bodies coming off, potentially 3 if Monville's hit, but he's clean, so just 2 bodies have come off right now as Fedorov rips his pack off. Archie kind of getting a slow start here in this match, Todd.
Yeah.
But Moorhead comes off early. Cole Roberts is still alive.
Yeah, Colt's alive. Chad jips out to the corner. Might get kind of hairy for him if Cole Roberts keeps moving down that Dorito side. It's Sam and Chad. 4 bodies alive for Xfactor. They're trying to put their first point up on the board. As Billy Bernaccia just shooting Sam Monville's bunker, not letting him fight. And that's going to be it. As Chad George takes one as he goes to load his pot out of that corner. So Xfactor getting in this game, putting their first point on the board in the match.
Yeah, keeping it close. A lot of time left. 11-10 to go.
Making it 2-1 like Billy Bernaccia.
Colt 45 in there as well on that. Nice point by Colt. You know, they lost Archie early. They lost Archie early most of the points in this match. Archie is having a good tournament. But Colt picked it up for him. Billy picked it up for him. As we're following Kovar off as he goes to fill his air up. And here comes Shock. So Pez, Rodarte. Haven't seen much out of Rodarte here in this game so far, but we're early on. Just a couple points played so far.
20 seconds.
Let's see if Rodarte decides to turn it up. Start busting through that middle again.
We'll see if
Carl
Carl
Markowski looks like he wants to run.
Well, let's see if Carl can get out alive, because Uprising's been doing a great job of shooting Carl Markowski off the break, 2 points in a row. And Carl's gonna pull up early. It's a smart play, actually. Rodarte goes to the center 50. He had an amazing game in that loss that they took. We're gonna see another minor penalty, at this time on Williams. And then that takes off Pez. Carl Markowski's getting checked off by the referee. And Rodarte gets shot out of the center. And this is gonna be another quick one here. That's a disaster. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shock players walking off at the same time. And when you see that, oh, it looks like some extra bonus balls.
It looks like Carl and Nick are asking.
Carl was in a major for.
They threw a yellow flag, but they pulled 2 bodies. Did you notice that? Because I didn't see Slowiak get shot. I saw Slowiak go walking.
Yeah, well, let's watch the replay. I mean, what I was watching was just a sea of Aftershock bodies coming off at the same time. So they start with 5, and they're not going to be alive for long. Carl comes in, pulls up short. Rodarte goes in there. They go and take a look at Williams. See the running referee comes in there.
Minor penalty.
Threw a minor, pulled out. Well, maybe he got shot. It's possible that other body got shot.
It looks like they pulled. Looks like they pulled both out of the back center.
Can we run that back? We can just run this back a little bit. Let's see if so you have Pez and Slowiak in that center back center bunker. No, we want to run it back farther and see those back 2 center. Well, we don't have time, but just a tough break for Shock. Down by 3 early. Closer game here. Houston heat up by 1. And looks like Xfactor doubling up the back center bunker. And immediately moving to get a body up to the center 50 for Xfactor. The referee's gonna run in there and check out Woodley though.
And Woodley's like alive. Clean.
And then here comes the execution. Sergey runs through, stitches up Woodley and stays alive, gets taken out, doesn't get a second body, but did his job.
And you know, Sergey ran up there wanting to go get Woodley back. Monville's in the back center with Chad George. Fedorov's in the corner. Moorhead making his move into the 50. Dorito for heat. Billy Bernaccia is still over here on the snake side. Fighting heads up with Chad George.
Body coming off and Clint Johnson for Xfactor. Archie Montemayor staying alive at this point and getting out wide.
And it looks like Archie shoots 2 bodies.
Yeah, Fedorov coming off, and so does Moorhead. It's a nice job by Archie over there on the D side. Billy Bernaccia gets his position on the snake side insert. Bunker right behind the snake. There he is on your screen. And Archie is going to There's Archie on the D side, going to D2. Already 2 confirmed for Archie on that side of the field. Just 2 players left alive on the field for Houston Heat. 3 for Xfactor. Vernaccia gets into the snake, dives into snake 1, crawls past snake 1, gets to snake 2. He's going to gun up cross field on D2. Knew exactly where that shot was. Good communication from Archie, and nice, good kill there as Monville gets shot at D2, and there goes Chad George. So 2 unanswered right now for Xfactor to tie this game up.
Good recovery there by Xfactor. It was a 4-on-4. Houston Heat had the field position over there. I think, I don't know if Archie shot both of them or if Clint Johnson traded out with Moorhead, but once Archie made that move out wide, shoots Fedorov, goes up the field, and allows Billy Vernaccia get over here into the snake, close this game out with Archie. So good job right there by Xfactor, making it 2-2 now.
That's good 2 points and a good comeback there for Archie. You know, Archie's really good at that. I mean, hey, man, even the best in the business are going to have a couple points in a row where they struggle. But what does Archie do? He gets right back out there. Let's watch this run through here from Sergey. Knows the lane, goes right to the can, and then they finally pick him up. But still, a nice run through. And then here's the closing moments of that point with Chad George trying to scurry and retreat, but getting taken out doing so. Let's see if Aftershock can pick it up here. And now they're going to send Rodarte up to the center 50. But here comes Olsen to mirror that move. Alex Gray getting shot off the break. So now up a body here is Shock's chance. 5-on-4. Call that 5-on-3, actually. And they want to make a move to the snake. There's the battle in the center. Rodarte for Shock on your left. Olsen for Uprising on your right. And Graham Arnold also dies, so this is going to be bad for Olsen here. Yes, he only has 1 body. Nate Schrader right behind him. And then here comes Parrish. Rodarte comes through as well, and that's a good pickup point right now for Aftershock.
Yeah, they needed that, especially after that penalty they just got, where all those bodies walked out at the same time. Kerr, Parrish, Slowiak, Rodarte.
Points
Make it
good.
3-1. 4-0 is a tough hole to dig out of.
So the story with Shock, with the divisional players coming on the team, you know, I really like what I'm seeing out of Rodarte, Ryan Rodarte. Parrish, they're one on the snake side, a little hit or miss, but I think he's got some potential. We know what Carl can do. We know what Nick can do. We've seen McKenna. So now the question is, since Rodarte's been stepping up, can Parrish be consistent on the snake side? And the biggest problem for them is that D side of the field.
Yeah.
Pez has really been getting worn out on that D side of the field. He needs to really work on his survivability.
Yep. There we go on the breakout. Sergey all the way up to the middle. Looks like they drop 1 as Moorhead goes shooting heads up to that Dorito side center can. Shoots Colt Roberts out. Sam Monville makes his move out to the snake side corner, plays off of Chad George.
Looks like Archie just caught a bouncer, trying to head out wide, trying to get through Sergey's gun. There you can see from the view in the sky. Now we're going to look, see that lineup in the center with Sergey. Going to get up there with Ryan Moorhead. And now 2 bodies for Houston Heat up the gut. Good cross-field spread, at least on the D side for Xfactor. Clint Johnson trying to gunfight out here on the snake side. Somebody shoots Sergey. Sergey's pointing. You see what he's pointing at his head, saying he got called out.
Yeah, there's no hit on his head.
Yeah, he doesn't have a hit on his head. I mean, at least right now he doesn't have a hit on his head. Yeah, Sergey's pretty angry about that one.
Sam Monville's still alive over here, though. So is Ryan Moorhead up in that center wall. Clint Johnson's going to dig. He got shot in the barrel on the way out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And he checked it twice. Referee didn't see it.
The barrel hits are tough, man. Barrel hits and bottom of shoe hits. When I was playing, I'm like, hey, if I get that one, cool. But I'm not really expecting a guy to come off on a bottom of the shoe hit or a barrel hit.
I mean, I saw it. Clinton Johnson felt it, checked it, and he's still there.
But that's the one you can hear the tink.
Yeah.
Barrel hits and tank hits. You can hear that tink sometimes. Oh, look at this, though. We're going to see a penalty on Moorhead. And Monville's going to catch a couple extra, but that's not really, that was from cross field, and I don't think Archie, he was just seeing bodies fly off, but not a good turn of events here. In this one, a bunch of guys shaking their heads for Houston Heat.
Woodley goes up, and 2 bodies come off, so that's a good trade there for Woodley.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think, we haven't seen Chad Boucher yet.
Just 2 bodies left alive. Excuse me.
Well, that's 3 unanswered points right now for Xfactor.
Yeah, Xfactor after going down 2. Come right back.
Dixon Yang pumped up in the pits here, saying that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Xfactor looking real good past 3 points.
Yeah, Archie Montemayor digging out to that Dorito side.
Well, let's look and see again. We got a little bit of a glare, but let's see if we can see this barrel hit as he's sprinting out. Yeah, again, I got a glare on my screen. It's tough to tell. Todd, do you see it? If we could pause it. Oh, right there, it tinked off.
Don't play it in slow motion, and you'll see it. Or play it in slow motion.
I was going to say, I think we got a better chance of seeing it in slow motion. So we're seeing it come off. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay, you can pause it. So you can see.
Oh, no, Todd's crazy.
Yeah.
Todd's crazy.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Not a chance.
No, hey, I didn't say you're crazy. You see, you're getting all defensive. I had you on that one. I thought I saw it too, but I'm trying to, like, make sure we saw it before we call it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, but no, I mean, hey, like I said, man, barrel hits on the run out when there's not much paint there, and bottom of foot hits. I hope you'll come out on it, but if you don't, I mean,
man, I stepped on that ball.
I just, you know, you can scream yourself hoarse trying to get those hits called.
I'm not sure who shot him. It might have been Monville. I'm not sure if he knew either, but.
Bodies coming off for both teams. 2 for Xfactor. Rodarte gets ran down by Olsen. And another body coming off Schrader. So 3 bodies have come off for Shock. It's 2-on-3. Advantage Uprising. Arnold watched all those bodies come off, counted them all, and goes, oh, I think I'm just going to go right up to the center. And here comes Parrish.
Parrish making that move all the way into the 2, but then gets picked off from the Dorito 2 by Borromeo across the field. Borromeo's the only one that saw him.
Parrish, you got to know those angles.
Well, he had a chance, I think, maybe if he'd have just dove in and went low, just went straight to the 50.
Well, he went in there, and you know you're down bodies. You're making a move forward. You know there's been some upfield progression from the opposing team. You should know what those angles are incoming at every spot on your side of the field. But again, you know, we're being a little hard on the young guys from Shock. I mean, they just got up into this league. But if they're expecting to win, these are those small details that are the most crucial things out there.
30 seconds.
Now we're in the pits right now with Shock. Let's listen in.
What happened?
Off the break, we got shot on the Dorito
side, and they called a penalty right away. Like, it's on a stack. But I even asked, and he did this at first, and then he fucking comes in. They're calling us out.
10 seconds.
Digging out to the back corner bunker for Houston Heat is Chad George, and he's going to get shot off the break. So looks like Xfactor with 5 bodies alive. Billy Bernaccia to the snake off the break. We haven't seen Billy get there yet, but he makes it in clean. And then here comes the run through in the center. Now Woodley's going to give Sergey a little taste of his own medicine.
I love every time somebody runs into the backside of a bunker and just gets covered in paint and then looks to the ref like, check me, just covered. Good move right there by Woodley. Coming in to take out Sergey, had to make that move. Ryan Moorhead gets shot. Looks like they're gonna lose another body.
Billy Bernaccia.
Sam Monville's the last one, but I believe that's Devin Stewart.
Well, initially, this game was looking really good for Houston Heat when the first horn sounded. But after going down 2, it's been nothing but San Antonio Xfactor since then. And see a lot of Heat players walking off, shaking their heads. They're getting beat to the punch in the center. They're losing bodies off the break. They lost Chad George off the break in that last one. And survivability is starting to be an issue. Would you agree, Todd?
Yeah,
What do you,
100%.
let's try to diagnose what's going on with Heat right now.
I'm looking down at Heat's pit, and I mean, this is how they kind of normally are, but nobody's really saying anything. Everybody's kind of down in that Houston Heat pit right now, kind of just looking around. Everybody's super involved, but...
Well, there was that run through in the center from Woodley. And then here's Billy Bernaccia, as you're seeing Heat players just walk off left and right, and actually just looks like Sergey runs into Billy. Billy's like, whatever, we're beating you guys right now, so I don't care. And then he's going to get down the field, shoot a couple more bodies. Nice job by Billy Bernaccia in that one. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking over there. I have a little huddle going on in Houston Heat's pits, and they're talking about the issues over there right now. But win or lose, point-wise, in the pits, you want to see guys coming back and talking about what's going on out there. Rodarte about to get run down by Olsen.
And here comes the attack. Nate Schrader down the Dorito side. Got a body with him. Nick Sloviak coming up into the middle of the field. Nate Schrader sees Sloviak. He's going to come right away. Shoot Sloviak in the back. Shoot another body. Good decision right there by Nate Schrader to choose snake side. Gets 2 bodies, working on a third. It's just Parrish here, trying to deal with Nate Schrader.
Nate's the perfect size to play that pin. Then Alex Gray is going to come down, almost collide with Parrish. Still, though, Uprising just getting the better of Shock. Oh, Carl's coming over and giving Nate a little piece of his mind. So let's check in with Lauren.
Hey guys, after the last Xfactor Heat pit, I was hanging out in the Xfactor pit, and they are definitely feeling the momentum swing here in this match against Heat. But they never let that get to their heads. Whenever they come off the field, whether they lost a point or won a point, they always say 0-0. They keep their heads in that mentality and just focus on going out and playing that next point like it's the first point they've played. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Well, whatever Xfactor's saying to each other in the pits, it's working, because looking at these match stats, Clint Johnson, the new guy on Xfactor's team this year, 5 confirmed kills for him, 5 for John Woodley, 4 for Archie, and Archie getting it right back after struggling early on. I mean, you know, Xfactor's is hitting on all cylinders right now for the past 4 points. 5 on 5 to start this one, though, Todd.
Yeah, Woodley up in that center again off the bat. Looking through those windows. Looks like Mishka's up there.
But Woodley's going to come around and stitch up Mishka and stay alive, but then getting taken out. I like what Woodley's doing up in the center for Xfactor, man.
Yeah, this Heat is just not protecting their center guy. You know, as soon as he goes up there and Woodley recognizes it, then he instantly goes right around. And right now, Colt Roberts also walking off. So you got Kovar, Johnson. That's what I can see here for Xfactor. Houston Heat's got Chad Boucher in the back.
Yeah, Chad Boucher, number 2, in the backfield. Not going to get a chance to bunker his former teammate, as he already ran through. And looks like Sergey's going to run up into the center. You know what, though? Chad might have been the guy that got a shot on John when Woodley ran through. Now Chad's going to run out, looking pretty fast on the fill. And then here comes Chad George, the 2 Chads for Houston Heat. Boucher and George on the snake side. Better field position for Houston Heat right now, trying to get this one back. Not a lot of time left. Xfactor, 3 minutes and 44 seconds left, trying to just hold the line. Down by a body and up by 2 points as Chad George for Houston Heat gets into snake. Using snake 1, past snake 2, and is going to get across the line and get into that 50-yard line.
So Chad George sitting in that 50 Dorito right now on the snake side, trying to get kills across the field. Both Johnson and Kovar walk out at the same time.
Good pickup point here for Heat.
So Houston Heat, Chad Boucher gonna run over, go hit that buzzer. and able to stop the run of Xfactor, who put up 4 unanswered points. Come back here, put one on, and get that point to make it a 1-point game with not a whole lot of time left.
Nah, it's a very close match and definitely low on time. Pretty standard points. We haven't really been having long points. Not really. There's a couple quick ones, but. So now, Uprising coming out. And it looks like Graham Arnold. What are you giggling about?
Fedorov just looked at me and pointed up. We had this thing that we were doing in out in France at the first Millennium. You know, we played the Russians the last game, and he was just like, basically tells me when he's going to work. He's like, all right, check this out.
Can you do it in the Fedorov accent?
It's more of a signal.
I'm always trying to get you to do accents.
It's one of those like, hey, I'm about to go handle my business. Like the same. We ran a play and it worked. And we ran again and it worked. And then it's just a
kind of a head nod.
Yeah, let's do it. Do it again.
Little head nod, little double horns at you.
Yeah. The one point he comes in and he just starts speaking Russian, and I'm like,
you're
okay.
Like, you remember that?
And he's
I
like,
don't, I don't speak Russian. I mean, you can come out with a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah,
and
this. And I was like, all right, cool. Goes out again, shoots everybody again, goes out again, shoots everybody again, comes back in, and I'm like, what do you want to do? And he's like, they can't stop me. I was like, perfect.
Is that an exact quote?
Let's do it, yeah. Walks in, I'm like, what's up? And he's like, they can't stop me. I was like, hell yeah. Love that.
Well, when Fedorov is on fire, he can be unstoppable. I mean, when you're talking about one of the best guys ever to play the game.
Yeah. Well, you know how much Fedorov loves to beat the Russians. We played the Russians for 3rd and 4th, and he just went off. We beat him 6-1. He was out there just blowing people to bits. Shout out to my team Breakout out there. Brampa, Axel, Mac, who's out in Iran right now playing a tournament. Coming back, they're all playing the DPL this weekend. And then we got the Millennium next weekend. Uprising and Shock out here right now. Body's walking off for Shock early again. Looks like one comes walking off. It's Graham Arnold.
Yeah, so you look at the game time on this clock, 11 minutes and 19 seconds left. That's all. That's crazy. 6 points played. Still 11 minutes and 12 seconds left to go.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, a lot of deaths on the break and charging down the Dorito side.
Well, and a ton of really quick points for Uprising. I mean, we've seen a couple bad ones for Shock, multiple bad ones.
Lots of wilding out for Nate Schrader, Alex Borromeo.
Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate, Mr. Nasty Time. Naughty Jungle of Love. So Tucker gets into the 50 Dorito on the snake side. He's popping up looking for bodies, but that player, I believe it's Carl, is so far up. He's in the 50 Dorito on the other side. Yep, it is. And Carl just figured out where the body is. He better tell Kerr before Kerr gets shot in the back.
Yeah, and there's no one to stop Tucker over here. So smartly, they just push forward, and then I think that was Carl that just got shot to the ground. No, that was Kerr. So Carl is still alive over there, and then Carl, the last player left alive, and we're going to get a penalty. Probably is, I think that penalty is going to be on Shock. Carl's flipping out right now. Carl's over there having words with the referees, and no, he's having words with Eaton. So Eaton's standing around, turning around, having some colorful conversation with Carl. Carl's still pointing and screaming at Eaton. Couldn't see exactly. I mean, we have a pretty good view. We have a pretty good view from the D side, but the 50 Dorito is blocked out from the big wall from our angle. So I couldn't see exactly what went down with Carl and Eaton over there.
Well, Kerr had the drop on Eaton, right? Kerr came around, but it didn't look like, I mean, the referee was staring right at Eaton, and the ref never called Eaton out. He only called Kerr out.
So who was the penalty on, though?
I don't know, but I mean, I don't know if it was for talking or for what, but Carl was walking off. I didn't see who shot Carl because the walls blocked us off, but it looked like Kerr got him clean, or would have got him clean had he put a ball on him, but he missed him. Got torched and then laid on the ground. It was a 3-on-2, and let's see what we can figure out here from the replay. So
there's Schrader. So Schrader's shooting at Kerr, just pumping Kerr full of balls. Kerr gets up, And as we come over, hopefully when we pan over, we might be able to see it. No, Carl's already dead and flipping out.
It's a minor on Carl for talking.
Yeah. But then Carl stops and comes around and has a few words with Eaton. Because here comes Carl back, screaming at Eaton. Eaton turns around and starts screaming at Carl. So there's Eaton on your screen, and also Nate Schrader.
Joel's bebopping.
Got his earbuds in.
Joel's one
Listen to
jive
some
turkey.
hard trance.
10 seconds.
So here comes Houston Heat. They need to get a point here to tie this one up. 3:04 on the clock. And it looks like Fedorov makes it out wide on the Dorito side. Xfactor gets up in the middle with Grayson Goff. Mishka is up there. And it looks like he gets shot over the top. He's going to come walking off. Fedorov on the attack. He gets up in the Dorito. He's in Dorito 2. Grayson Goff's in the middle. Kovar doubles up with Bernaccia, comes up over the top and gets one right in the goggles from Chad Boucher.
So both
or
teams,
Chad George.
Both teams losing a body here. It is 4-on-4. And that will definitely play into Xfactor's favor because with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, with it even up on the body count, they have that 1-point lead. But Colt Roberts catches one on the D side. So now the advantage goes to Heat. 4-on-3 on the body count.
Konstantin Fedorov picked up Colt Roberts down the wire just as Archie was coming to the inside, and then Archie has to fill back out to the Dorito corner now. Good time for Chad Boucher to launch up the middle to go get out Grayson Goff. Billy Bernaccia has been able to get into the snake even with pressure on him. Boucher and Chad George really trying to keep Billy there, but an opportunity for Chad Boucher if he were to go up that middle, because they do have an extra body as Archie Montemayor gets shot. Now they have 2 extra bodies. It's a 4-on-2 situation.
Time of the essence, Houston Heat.
Chad Boucher
want to just tie it up though, and they have that 2-body advantage like you're saying, Todd.
Yeah, Chad Boucher has the ball right now. He's the one that's got to launch up the middle.
But what a great kill by Grayson Goff as Konstantin Fedorov kind of trips coming out and falls to the ground and gets gogged up by Grayson Goff. Now that's a big kill because that's going to slow the attack down. Now just 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. That was a gutsy shot by Grayson Goff.
Yeah.
He had to jump over the top to get a shot on Fedorov, and here comes the assassination as Chad Boucher. Now that's a smart move. Runs down Grayson. That's now going to make it a 1-on-2. And then springing out wide with just 1 minute to go, and it's Billy Bernaccia, and Billy's going to get taken out. Now Chad George is going to dive in, but Chad Boucher actually stayed alive through that run through. Nice move by Chad Boucher.
Yeah, probably could have gone a little bit earlier and gone around the snake side. He would have shot Grayson Goff in the back. Heat knew that Grayson Goff was playing that way.
Well, we got ourselves another tie game, so it was all Heat in the beginning. Went up 2-0, and then Xfactor railed off 4 unanswered to make it 4-2, and then now it's been Houston Heat for the past 2, and it's a tie game with under 1 minute to play. Let's get down with Lauren again.
30 seconds. Seconds.
Huh? Well, it looks like Lauren broke her mic again, fiddling around playing touch butt down in the sideline. So we're going to go back to the field over here.
So we're going to get back into this match here. And here comes the move up in the center with, I think that's McKenna now, up in the center for Chicago Aftershock, and Uprising with this big lead. Still a grip of time left here, and we'll see if they can mercy roll them or if Aftershock can fight back. There's enough time for Shock to fight back, there really is. But they're gonna need to tighten things up around the board. Pez continuing to struggle with survivability on the D side. He dies again. McKenna Sloviak dies up in the center. Is that Kerr or Sloviak?
I think it's Williams.
Williams. That is Williams.
So here comes Tucker blazing down that Dorito or snake side with nobody stopping him. He's trying to stat stuff with that one last body. I believe it's Rodarte. And yeah, he tries to make it out over there, give himself some space on the Dorito side, but he gets picked up by Tucker. And Nate Schrader putting the squeeze on him. Nate Schrader having a having a pretty solid event over here.
Well,
Even though they've lost
this win
most of the games.
is going to put Uprising, let's see, Uprising.
They had a tough draw.
Yeah, they had a tough draw. Well, they beat PC Katana, and then they lost to Xfactor. So they went 1-1 in the day yesterday. And then they lost their first one to Heat, so they were 1-2. And so it looks like they're going to go 2-2.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. So here comes Heat and Xfactor. We are all tied up. Shouldn't be very much time on the clock. We may potentially be looking at an overtime game here. It looks like there's about 50 seconds on the clock. So we'll see. Is somebody going to come and take it? Or are we going to see an overtime point? Billy Bernaccia finally tries to run wide on the snake side and gets picked up. Going to the snake corner. All Houston Heat bodies alive. We got Chad Boucher, Mishka, Chad George, Sergey, and probably Fedorov over there on that inside temple. Archie, Woodley, both looking towards the snake side.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to see an overtime point because Fedorov's the only one looking to make a move on Heat, and there's only 13 seconds left. So even though they have one body advantage, yeah, well, now here comes Mishka.
Yeah, 7 seconds left on the clock. Xfactor's got it crossed up. And there goes the horn.
The close battle that we expected is what we got. Overtime point going to go down between Houston Heat and San Antonio Xfactor, all tied up at 4.
Oh, man.
And right now, though, Chicago Aftershock, even though there is a bunch of time left, they're 1 point away from getting mercy ruled by Seattle Uprising. And I don't think Uprising has mercy ruled anyone before.
Hey, they set the stage for the drama. Here we are, overtime. Who wants to come get it? Xfactor's pit right there. Alex Martinez had a word quick with Ryan Brand. Now Ryan Brand is going to talk it out with his team. Who's he going to put in? Did Alex Martinez just give him a body suggestion? Is he going to change personnel, or is he going to stick with Archie, Colt, Woodley, Kovar, and Bernaccia?
I think you got to roll with Woodley. Well, I mean, unless you want to pull away from that center move. You're not going to put anyone other than Bernaccia, I feel, on the snake side right now.
I feel like on this
Bernaccia
field,
shot the
I know
break,
like we
whatever.
have this conversation 3 times already about different stuff, but I feel like the center, that first punch in the center is way more important than getting out wide on one of these sides. I feel like you get so much more production. You make sure that you take the fight to them and they don't come get you on this field. This is a really good field for getting up that middle. And if a guy comes through, bunkers your middle guy out, or is standing in the wall uncontested, then he can kind of do whatever he wants up there, right? And if you have a guy up there and your guy makes the move first, you always have an opportunity to get a second guy.
True. Well, here
it's so easy to get up there. Is it worth the risk to try and run wide?
Well, with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go, which is the most time we've seen this entire tournament with a score sitting at 7-1, Uprising now losing a bunch of bodies, so they're not able to put Aftershock away. Again, Aftershock, I mean, you can score 6 points in 9 minutes. Obviously. Look where we are right now.
Right.
Aftershock past the 50-yard line, and he ends up getting taken out. Is that Rodarte?
That was Parrish trying to make a move through the middle. Kerr's back up in there. Sloviak gets shot out of the snake side laydown. Not sure who picked him up. Arnold and I believe Tucker are crossed up. I think they might be the only 2 bodies left. They lost 2 early. So it looks like Kerr's in the middle, and Kerr's going to make his move. He's going to come running just as Arnold looks the wrong way. And that allowed Kerr to get all the way through and shoot Arnold before he could pick him up. Is there another body? There he is. Alex Borromeo. We can't see that inside temple because of the back center. So there was 3 bodies left alive, all crossed up. Now there's 2, just one over in that 50 Dorito, and it looks like Tucker's going to shoot him from across the field.
Yeah, so it wasn't looking good initially for Uprising to try to get that mercy rule in effect, but they were able to just keep the attack from Aftershock from pushing completely into their back line, get the kills that they needed to get, win a couple gunfights, and that score should be 8-1, and that's going to end that match.
So here we are, Xfactor Houston Heat, the battle for Texas.
Oh, man.
Overtime.
Xfactor hates when we say that.
I know, that's why I said it. I figured I had to say it. was like cliche by now. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
man.
You didn't get my come and take it earlier either.
Oh, I didn't notice the come and take it. Yeah, Xfactor always bringing the Texas battle flag, come and take it with crisscross cannons on it.
Did you see that new Dye M2, the Texas version? It's got like a Texas flag on it.
I have seen different guns with the come and take it on it before.
And across the barrel it says come and take it.
I love that.
20 seconds.
All right, here we go. Looks like Chad Boucher, Chad George,
Hey, we might see
Fedorov,
Go ahead, sorry.
Sergey, and Mishka.
Well, Woodley's out there, so we might see our first Chad Boucher, John Woodley matchup in the center. Oh, they're going to risk Billy Bernaccia all the way to the snake off the break, and I think he makes it in clean. That's a great run that's a bold play call by Ryan Brand to send Billy Bernaccia to the snake off the break, and he makes it out there.
Oh, but what they couldn't do is let Chad George get out wide, because now he can contest Billy down the wire.
Well, even though they made
It just makes it harder, but
it does make it harder. Neither team losing a body, though. So, yeah, they got Billy in. That's great. But Sergey's up at the center 50 wall, and there's no one up there with him.
Yeah, and Billy's still in good field position, even though Chad George is going to make it harder now that he's out in the corner. Chad Boucher bumps out as well. He's going to go to the snake laydown and also play that way. And Mishka going to work with Fedorov over there on that Dorito side. Here comes the launch from Woodley. He's going to come out of the back center all the way up through the middle. He's going to tattoo Sergey in the middle.
Yeah, he comes and drops the hammer and stays alive. The ref is going to get in there and check him out, and that's the spot to run through. He's still in there tucked in. We'll see, can Xfactor take some more ground? Billy Bernaccia still getting stuck in snake 1 because Chad George refuses to give up that lane. Michael Kovar behind him. Woodley's still alive, but a body did come off that D side. I think it was Archie. And then Woodley is finally going to die in that spot. But Chad George had to get off the lane in order to shoot Woodley, and that allows Billy Bernaccia to get to snake 2. But it is 3-on-4 in favor of Houston Heat. Though Billy Bernaccia, the man with the ball right now, he's at the 50-yard line. We'll see if Bernaccia can get that kill crossfield. They're definitely putting paint on him, though. 3 guns are looking at Billy Bernaccia. Back corner bunker, snake, D side, snake side. Now Chad George gets off that lane, looks in the center again. Oh, but Michael Kovar loses his gunfight in the back corner bunker. That is not going to help Billy out at all.
No, Billy really needs to clock in right now for Xfactor. If they're going to have a chance here, 3:09 on the clock. But Billy in that 50 Dorito, he does have some help over there on the Dorito side. He's got one body on the inside Dorito temple, and Billy Bernaccia catches one. He's going to come walking off. Looks like just Grayson Goff, and Grayson Goff tries to make a run out to the corner and gets chopped up. So Fedorov is standing up over the top of his bunker looking for bodies, but there ain't anybody left. Mishka's going to make his move through the middle of the field. Go sweep it, sweep the field. And Houston Heat in one heck of a battle. After going up 2 points, Xfactor rattled off 4 in a row. And then Houston Heat comes back to tie it 3 in a row on their own to win it in overtime.
Yeah, and that is going to put Houston Heat, I believe, undefeated here through the prelims as they defeated Chicago Aftershock and Tampa Bay Damage yesterday. Heat comes in and wins a real big one against Seattle Uprising and then wins this close one in overtime. So yes, Houston Heat is undefeated through the prelims. They're going to coast into the quarterfinals. San Antonio Xfactor sitting at 2-2 right now with a loss to Heat and a loss to Dynasty. But they should be able to get in because they beat Seattle Uprising head up, and Uprising is also 2-2 with this big victory over Chicago Aftershock. So unfortunately, even though Uprising did have a pretty good showing here with the 2-2, it doesn't look like Uprising is going to be going on.
That's a rough one. You know, I thought they played pretty good. They definitely would have been an exciting team to watch tomorrow. You know, teams get better. You know, they get better. They pick it up as the event goes on. They change things and make adjustments. But, you know, we got some teams out here playing some good paintball, so it's definitely going to be a fun day to watch tomorrow.
Well, these younger teams are getting better. I know we keep saying it, but we're saying it because it's true. I mean, you're looking at, you know, Baum giving a really good game to Impact early on. They beat Dynasty in the first event of the year. The only game that Dynasty lost, period, in Vegas was to Baum. Revo's going to be moving on, but they earned it. You know, I mean, they played really well this weekend, but they went 2-2 and ended up moving on. Uprising goes 2-2, but they're going to be going home. So it's getting pretty interesting out here with a lot of these younger teams. But now the issue is with Chicago Aftershock and PC Katana, which we're going to see the Outlaws play PC Katana in this last one. But since the Outlaws beat Dynasty head up, it's going to get interesting here, and Dynasty needs to win this game against Tampa Bay Damage. So before we get to those, get to the last set, and then we're going to do the draw to find out who plays who. So make sure you stick around for that. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I'm here with Konstantin Fedorov. Congratulations on that win against Xfactor in overtime. Now, you told me you're feeling good now, which makes sense, but how are you feeling going into that overtime point?
Well, in overtime point, we pretty much feel good because we bring straight back like 2 points, I guess. And like everybody knows what they need to do, and we know exactly where they go. So that's like how game rolling. And like we didn't do any special. We know like Billy go on the snake, try to play aggressive, and that's what we're ready for that. We're staying tight and we make our kills. That's it.
They did try to play very aggressive. They sent Woodley down the middle to the wall. He ran onto your side of the field. Like you said, Billy got into the snake off the break. Do you think those aggressive plays are going to be effective moving forward into Sunday? Or do you think we're going to see some more safe plays in the back until those moves develop?
Well, it depends who you have in the middle, because we know exactly if LJ comes, he goes up to middle. And that's what we exactly expect. If he come to our bunker, maybe he kill one person, but we dig in, we play tight, and we knock him out. And after we know Billy goes all the way down, try to crawl in Moscow, and I just wait on the shot and I kill him. And like Mishka get like really good shot on the back left. That's it. They're not rushing on the D side like they usually did. And yeah, that's pretty much is it. It's really easy to play if you know where they go.
Overall, how do you feel he is playing this weekend? Are there any things you think that still need to be tweaked and tightened?
I mean, well, we always have to learn something, but we're just mixing squads, and we just try to figure out what's better, like combination between the players. So at the beginning, I play on the snake side, and after I switch for D side, so we'll see. It's up to coach, you know.
All right, we will see. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Heat for beating Xfactor. Back to you guys.
So stick around, important match going down here to end the prelims. San Diego Dynasty going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage, and then the Outlaws going to be taking on PC Katana to end things here in the prelims. So stick with us here at GoSports.com, and then we'll do the draw to find out the professional quarterfinals here at the 2017 NXL Texas Open. Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. We'll be right back.